Hello, it's Scott Manley here, and I guess it's time to catch up with the latest updates to Star Citizen, which has actually had a surprisingly, great amount of interest because of its Gamescom demo. Now, it was a demo that was only run by the developers, but it did show a whole lot of stuff that people kind of wanted to see. Anyway, the 2.5 update is here. Now, there is actually a button which controls the landing gear, which is kind of nice. This is also used for, just landing in general. Anyway, that is but a minor update, or minor part of a much larger update, which is, of course, 2.5. Now, being that it's Star Citizen, yes, there are new flyable ships. There's the Reliant, the Misk Reliant, which is... it's kind of a half-human, half-alien starter vessel. It's not really a starter vessel, it costs more. Anyway, not going to fly that because I would have to earn a whole bunch of cash in Arena Commander, and I don't have the time for that. Or either that or spend real money. And the other one is the Argo MPUV, which is basically a space forklift truck, which is a utility vehicle used by a number of spacecraft. So, I'm sure you can buy that if you like, but I'm not going to bother with either of those, and you can no doubt see those in other locations. Instead, you'll notice that I warped past the planetoid of Yela, and now I'm looking into its asteroid belt. In this asteroid belt is a pirate base, a place for which the players that like shooting other players can now call home. It's in this little cluster of asteroids, so you see how it lines up with the terminators of these planets, of the Crusader, which is a gas giant, and Yela, which is supposed to be a moon or something like that. But one thing I really want to point out about it is it's spherical, and something that small would not, or in the real universe, wouldn't be rendered spherical by its own gravity, right? However, during the Gamescom presentation, they did a demo which showed their procedural planet tech, and of course it was well received, let's face it. I mean, they had an audience that was very excited for it, and they did a lot of cool things. Clearly they went off script a couple of times, but they had a planet in it where it was about 1,000 kilometers across, I believe, and the planet had an atmosphere and it had a gravity similar to that of Earth. So, while they haven't been very specific on this, I suspect that the developers of Star Citizen are going for a downscaled universe, downscaled planets, basically Kerbal-sized planets. And, that's fine because it means that you don't have to travel as far. Anyway, here we go, the pirate base, Grim Hex. It's basically a bunch of asteroids lashed together by space cables, which will explain why they are not following different orbits, no doubt. Actually, none of these things are following orbits around Yela, because that's one of the features they haven't had time to develop, and let's face it, it is a very low priority feature. Okay, I have the landing area in sight, or at least the officially designated landing area. It looks like there's somebody has left a spacecraft there. I could, of course, be an evil pirate and destroy it. Oh wait, I am going to an evil pirate base. I could just destroy these things and I'd be totally... I wouldn't be because I was a bad person, it's because I would be role-playing as a pirate. In fact, I'm flying a Vandal Glaive. I could totally roleplay a pilot like a pro. I could roleplay like an alien with knives. As soon as they get melee weapons. Oh look, there's somebody coming out. Is that door open? Is there somebody gonna pop out? Or did that door just open on its own? Oh, there they are! Oh, darn, I landed at the wrong moment. I could have tried shooting them from above. Well, I wonder if he'll be my friend, or if he will just decide to shoot me. Because, well, is there honor among thieves? We're gonna find out. So, unlike the Port Olisar, everybody basically, there's no rules. So Port Olisar, there is no... Oh, wait a second, why don't I have a gun? I was going to say, in Port Olisar, you're not allowed to use your guns, but it looks like my gun is invisible. That could be a bug. Hey, Esgol, can you see my gun? No, you're just running away, because you can see my gun, I think. I'm gonna... come on. No, never mind. Before getting into a firefight, I should maybe check to see whether this invisible gun actually does anything. Okay, it didn't see any shields or anything reacting, but it looked like it worked. Okay, push the button. And the door opens. So we have, of course, a standard human airlock with the standard human air venting inwards. And now you'll notice in the top left that guns are not allowed inside the base, which is good. So yeah, I was saying Port Olisar, if you step outside onto the landing pad, you're not allowed to use guns. In fact, near the station, you're not allowed to use guns in your spacecraft or anything. So this is way more dangerous because looks like there's no limitations on me using guns outside on my spacecraft or on my by myself on my sidearms or whatever. Okay, so yeah, what have we got? Elevators. We've got, looks like another door, probably an airlock, some seating so we can watch the ships coming and going. Elevator 1, Grim Hex, and these look like welcome to something or other Hex. Oh, I can request spacecraft. Let's request the Gladiator just for giggles. Does that work?
Selection confirmed.
Landing pad 803. There we go there. Interesting thing to notice for Star Citizen players is my mobiGlas is in red mode. I think it's normally green, but apparently because I've been flying an alien spaceship, its alien red heads-up display has infected my mobiGlas. My god, we shouldn't be using this alien technology. Actually, of course, the Glaive isn't actually an alien spaceship. It's a human-built version of an alien spaceship that flies like the alien spaceship. Okay, so just looking through here, obviously somebody wanted to sleep there. It is really interesting how the base is set up as if lots of people are kind of living here in the most random corners, and yet there are basically 1 or 2 NPCs in the whole thing right now. Actually, there's 3. There's 2 shopkeepers, and there's a character that runs around called Public Enemy, who you can shoot for a reward of 500 Alpha UEC. And I am in 0G. This looks interesting. Oh, it looks all torn up. Bunch of stuff floating around here. What can I see? Is there some treasure out here? Nope. No, this looks like it's been seriously blown up by things. Ah, that's kind of interesting. So I guess this is like a back door, since since it's so dangerous to be running around outside, since anyone can shoot you. Maybe having a back door is a strategically important thing to have. Let me see if I can find my the spacecraft I spawned. I spawned a Gladiator somewhere, and there it is. And I am still in red HUD mode. Of course, I suspect the moment I enter that Gladiator, that this red infection of my mobiGlas will go away. The theme will change. Or the desktop theme. Anvil, oh, and there's, why is my Glaive floating up in the sky there? That, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I think somebody might have took it out for a joyride and then realized that it made them too red. Maybe they just didn't like the red color, so they left it floating up there. Oh, look, there's a Mustang with some interesting shadow pop-in. That's probably because you have 2-level rendering going on. You'll see that in Kerbal Space Program as well, where shadows will pop in like that because the close... Oh, ow! 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 My liver! My liver! Ow! Anyway, being that it's an Outlaw base, we get a lot of action round here now. It seems that allowing the Outlaws to have a place to spawn where they can pretty much step outside leads to people fighting right outside all the time. Also, it doesn't help that other players can come over here and shoot the Outlaw ships pretty much without getting switched over to the Outlaw side. So, yeah, you just get a lot of fighting on the undock. Fighting on the undock, no, that's elite, dangerous. Fighting outside the landing pad. Unfortunately, all the rampant destruction of spacecraft on the landing pad seems to lead to most of the ship spawning consoles complaining that there are no landing pads available. So I got to spend a lot of time playing Star Citizen's first-person shooter in 0G, trying to shoot fighters. I was kind of hoping I'd kill one of them, but Ah, yeah, little guns, big spaceships, shields, that kind of stuff. This dude in a Anvil Gladius, I don't know, I think he's waiting for someone to spawn. I shoot him as he runs by. He's probably just wondering what that tickling sound is. You can be quite maneuverable in the suit, but you're certainly not going to compete with the speed of a spacecraft. Out of ammunition, onto my sidearm. Again, more tickling the underbelly of this beast. And... oh, ow, ow, ow. Hello! No, yes, there you go. Oh, that's right. Run away! Run away, you wimp. That's how we do things at Grim Hex. If you can't handle it, don't come here. Okay, let's go and explore Grim Hex a little more. There are a couple of elevators in here. Pushing this button is a major challenge in and of itself, because you have to be in exactly the right position, and odds are that exactly the right position will be an intermediate position due to the way the camera works. You know, they have this whole camera attached to the head thing, which is supposed to improve realism. And it does, assuming that your idea of realism involves motion sickness. Just kidding. Look, they'll fix it. They'll make it work at some point, eventually, one of these days. Okay, so elevator, push the button, click, there we go. Now I'm descending into the depths. I can see all sorts of things behind this. This base is built into the middle of the asteroid. But yeah, these lower levels are essentially the habitation levels. This is where people are supposed to live in squalor and still worship photographs of spaceships that they could buy one day. And red door, whatever is behind the red door, we do not know because it doesn't move right now. Moving even lower into the bowels of the asteroid. Well, I still can hear the guns from down here, but apparently sound carries down these air shafts. Or hey, what's this button do? Oh, nice. Oh, no! Ow, ow! Darn, why did they put gravity generators at the bottom of that shaft? They could have just not had the gravity generators there and then I wouldn't have died. Good news is that because I am now a criminal for shooting other people's spaceships, I now respawn in Grim Hex. Grim Hex is my home for now. I will be a prisoner here until I clean up my record. And there is a way to do that. There are missions where you go to the security port and you run some special software. Okay. So that door doesn't seem quite right, but then again, we are living in squalor because we're pirates, and pirates are not known for their cleanliness, housework, dental plans, or anything else. Yes, this place could really use something, could really use a lot of NPCs. So anyway, moving swiftly on, once again I try to locate some interesting, some useful facilities for the inhabitants of this grim environment. We have broken doors. Breaking down those doors. And we have doors that just simply don't work. They're probably welded shut by this point. Welded shut by the amount of filth, I would imagine, given the amount of cleanliness I've seen from the inhabitants of this system. Oh, okay, we have a door here. Oh wait, that's just more people living in here in squalor. Yeah, let's get back out of here and find something more interesting. It's a good thing I'm wearing my spacesuit, because by the looks of this place and the amount of garbage sitting around, it probably stinks. And having your own onboard air supply is really useful when you're dealing with the stench of humans, basically. Okay, we have people here. And dumpsters? That's great. So we've gone... Okay, there we go. Cool. Looks like we found a shop. Somebody is selling clothes here. How very nice of him. What have we got in terms of clothes? We have the bullshot. It's the cursor. The face melter. Loudmouth. Ha! Ha ha. The basher. Okay, and ton of shirts. This is, of course, what you spend in-game money on, because they don't want you spending in-game money on ships. That would, of course, discourage you from actually buying the ships. Oh, am I a cynic? Yes, I am. Yeah, okay. Leather jackets. These are what the pirates wear. T-shirts and leather jackets. My god, that means James Dean must have been a pirate. Elsewhere in Grim Hex's shopping district, we have... I don't know what the name of the place is, but it's the gun store. It's the gun and armor store, and it's the Outlaw version of the same. Which means, okay, well, we do have bullets here for sale, which is good, I guess. It's the ammo crate. I will point out that while these are reloading the bullets in my conventional sidearm and assault rifle, the Outlaw gun store distinguishes itself from the regular one by only selling energy weapons. So it's a good thing that they sell ammunition for regular guns, because you can't buy regular guns here. You can only buy the energy weapons version, including the energy sniper rifle and the energy shotgun. And yes, there's also armor here for those people that want to look badass. Okay, this time try not to walk off the edge. Whew, made it across that really wide bridge. Well, looks like we still have a bunch of garbage here. And airlock. I wonder where this will take me. Just check that I have my spacesuit on. Yes, I do. I have to say, given the amount of airlocks and things around this facility, I think wearing spacesuits 24/7 does seem to be the correct thing to do. So those leather jackets just aren't going to get a lot of use. Okay, airlock. And we are now in 0G. So yeah, we have another section of the base underground. What was that sound? Oh, we knocked something around there. I wonder where it went. So yeah, I guess maybe some disaster befell this. Maybe some firefight left the area wrecked, left stuff floating around. There, look at that. Floats around. Wait! That doesn't behave like the laws of physics. Go on, physics! Physics! Fail. What part of physics don't you understand? Why do you feel the need to come back to there? That is so unfair. I'm trying to demonstrate physics. Equal and opposite reaction. Conservation of momentum. Angular momentum. Seriously. And you're just like, nope, I'm going to hang rigidly in space because otherwise I would have to store persistent state and try to share it between all the clients. We all know that would take a really long time. I wonder if these bigger things get affected like that. And bingo! Yes, exactly. So apparently anything floating in the air that isn't a spaceship or a person does have a habit of just flicking back to where it once was. It's eternally frozen in space. The universe collapses if it moves too far, and so there are gods up there making sure that their carefully organized universe does not fall into chaos. This may look chaotic to you, but you know what's chaotic? Things free floating and not returning to their regular position. Oh hey, look, glass. I wonder if I can shoot that out. No, apparently not. Although I will point out, this is supposed to be a laser pistol, and that does look like glass, so the laser should just go through the glass, not really affecting it, right? Of course, game doesn't model that. It would be rather unfair if you could shoot people through their spacecraft cockpits using an optical laser. Come on, let's sneak through this door. I'm just hearing a whole lot of fighting going on elsewhere, and I am not participating, unfortunately. They sound like they're having so much fun. Oh look! It appears that I have found the back door exit, or entrance, depending upon what you're doing. So I'm guessing if you wanted to kind of sneak in here and not leave your spacecraft anywhere that would be as obvious, then the back door might be the place to be. Because this is typical if you go out the front door. You're going to find terrible people getting ready to shoot you. And not being necessarily very good at it, because hey, the sniper rifle has a half-second lag between pulling the trigger and the actual trigger, the actual bullet flying. That was it. Trying again. Missing again. Come on, seriously? Nope, missing again. I am a bad. Oh, and it's Public Enemy. Public Enemy! Bring the noise. So yeah, apparently the police are unable to deal with this guy, so there's a bounty on his head. Which would imply, appropriately enough, that 911 is a joke. There, that's a joke for all you Public Enemy fans out there. And get him. Jump, shoot. Oh, and I killed him. Excellent. 500 UEC. Of course, I've spent 125 on the ammunition. So yeah, Star Citizen 2.5 is alive, or rather Alpha 2.5. It is an alpha. There are heinous bugs all over the place. Right now, my missile launchers aren't working. I'm unable to fix those. I can't disable my gimbals. I have had weird animation glitches, specifically around Hornets. But, you know, people will just grit their teeth and bear it and hopefully giggle at it, and maybe the developers will actually fix it at some point before 3.0 comes along, and hopefully 3.0 actually contains everything that was shown in the demo, because of course we've had Star Marine, which was shown off and then quietly put away, although it's been quietly put back on the table. I mean, I'm gonna make it clear, you know, I like Chris Roberts' games, but I know that he has overpromised in the past with Freelancer, for example. And yeah, hopefully Star Citizen doesn't run out of money before it delivers everything he promises. We'll see what the future brings. I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.